Former footballer George Weah has been selected to the highest office space in Liberia. But will he be equivalent to the nation's lot challenges, asks Umaru Fofana. On the peak of Monrovia are the remnant of which utilized to be an spectacular 5-star inn, Duker. Down there stands the dark and yellow image of Joseph J. Roberts, the nation's at first CEO, entering Monrovia. The base's CEO would include Glowed in Honor, at which has fair undertaken location in Liberia, the key move to the at first transmission of force in the nation of one selected CEO to else via versatile electoral right. Fair external Liberia's poll committee crowds collected to commemorate the ad how George Weah had won the work off. A youthful person, out of a jacket on, looked teary-eyed. He summarized up the sentiment. An assistant to the CEO-elect told he barn burst into tears following listening the news story. Barely nobody is amazed at the win. But the devastating profit could include dazed though the staunchest supporters of the ex-FIFA Planet Gamer of the Year. Yet Mr. Weah now many faces his tough fight still. He might aware how to account a purpose on the tilt, but he has just been a sen for 3 years. Separately of how, same's not a tested and proven policy drawing. Maybe if same D been permitted to competition for the chairmanship of the Liberia Soccer Associate while he requested to do so in 2004, down there would include been thing to evaluate his management in. And now he is fleeing Liberia, a nation that endured a cruel civilian war for 17 years, begun by Charles Taylor nearly precisely 28 years back, on Yuletide Eve in 1989. Taylor would after be CEO, ultimately constrained to stay downward among a enormous world blood pressure next his bill of indictment for war crimes and crimes versus humanists devoted in neighboring mountain range Leone. He is now serving a 50-year prison period in a UK jail next his belief. So it might surprise party several how Mr. Weah's defect president will be Jewelry Howard Taylor, the commander's former wife. But time her choice proven contentious. Supporters of the sen say she being it and is academically audio and skilled for her new part. In reality, George Weah did a lot of policy equine trading to get there. Not just in Mrs. Taylor but as well in a ex-commander, Duke Johnson who butchered the warfare time CEO, Samuel Kayando. Satisfactory such interests will show key for the new CEO. Which's more than, possessing provided 38% of the voice in the at first circle, he necessary to do deals to do oneself, and not his competing, the selection for the some 18 candidates who couldn't do it to the work off. Though the fleeing companion to Charles Brumskine, who came tertiary and went to trial to halt the work off, accepted Mr. Weah, departure versus his lead stance. He's not precise who will get equipped to which stance but normally safe source say the traders are more than and greater rather than the equine. Else cause for Mr. Weah's win could be since of the man he ran versus. For 12 years Joseph Boakai has been Liberia's defect president. And for many decades the 73-year-old was a civilian man. He and his supporters advertised his expertise as his holdings. His critics quoted his age as his demise. If it did or not may never be completely precise. Yet, he and CEO Ellen Johnson Sirleaf include overseen a time of wonderful sustainability in the nation, following all the wars and turmoil. But Mr. Weah conducted monitoring of a Liberia wherever corrupt practices is believed to be precinctive, poverty reduction is widespread and the economics is poor. Locking the economics of a nation in enormous nature asset consisting a big tire estate, ferrous ore and the perspective for oil will be key. And in how, provided jobs for particularly the youthful human beings who include the most of the people. The requires so mind out policies and overseas aid. The chief of the poll watcher mission statement of the provincial unit ECOWAS has forced the planet to help Liberia. Ghana's ex-CEO John Mahama has named on Same World Society to ensure the nation in more than supporting. Liberia has been a young pioneer on the mainland. As its at first freelance republic, it manufactured its at first selected woman CEO, its at first victor of the desired person soccer confer, and now its at first ex-football player CEO. the teary-eyed youthful man as necessary a job to wipe away his burst into tears away. As the rising image of CEO Roberts continues to look, Liberians will ask themselves if the elation was cost it.